Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd and welcome to Suzerain, a political simulator thing, make decisions, accidentally set the country on fire, that's been recommended to me a whole bunch of times, so let's have a look-see at what I've been missing. Okay, the year is 1954 and I'm going to be running the fictional nation of the Republic of Swordland, and there are good and bad things about this nation, like by the looks of it, I am, bigger and more powerful than some of my neighbours. Brilliant, if there's a problem, we can just invade, take them over, that'll be a good way of making some easy cash, and speaking of which, yes, apparently the economy's on fire. Oh, I suspect, yes, things are going to get worse before they get better. Oh, and apparently, yes, I need to, build my character RPG style, so, right, the year is 1908, so I'm 50 years away from running the place, and also, right, back in these days it was a kingdom. I suspect there's going to be, a bit of trouble before I'm ready to take the reins of power, got it, so, right, wealthy, middle income or impoverished. We'll go for middle income, that's fine. There we go, an ordinary childhood. That seems good to me. What seems less good though is, yes, apparently there were fights breaking out in my family home, so, okay, it was my mum a monarchist and my dad a republican or something. Well, we never found out because instead we're skipping forward quite a few years and apparently, yes, the kingdom's no more, we're now a republic, and okay, it sounds like it just sort of, happened without anyone being shot, possibly excluding the king somewhere, so, okay, I'm going to call this a huge win, right up to the point where, we're going to skip forward 6 months and everybody's now being shot. Okay, it's 3 years on and no one's being shot yet, so honestly, I'm going to call this a huge win, so, right, I went to university, I could study law, economics, or, oh yeah, absolutely history, let's cock it go. Oh, never mind, the soldiers have arrived, I spoke too soon, so, right, elections apparently are accompanied by a large number of troops, including teachers being arrested. Never mind, it's all going to hell, sorry about that, as I say, got a bit ahead of myself there, and, you know what, I'm gonna say we join in the protests, marvellous. The soldiers beat me and apparently it was in general not a very good year, fair enough I suppose. And then the Civil War broke out, so okay, basically yes, it's been a bit of a messy history in our country, got it. Right, fast forward a couple of decades of economic collapse, several wars, revolutions, counter-revolutions, etc, and it's finally my time to shine, because apparently yes, during this entire time, I was rising up through the ruling party, so right, time for me to, stick the knife in the existing president and give a go to running things the John way. And apparently I ran on a platform of, yes, either democratic reforms or preserving national values. Right, well both of them are incredibly vague, but sure, let's say democratic reforms, because we never said in which direction. Okay, and we've got to make some more campaign promises as well, so right, step 1, economic direction, either planned economy or market economy. Okay, the problem is I know, very little about this country right now, and thus which would be better for us given our situation. But what I will say is, in the event we commit to a planned economy, it's me that's doing the planning. So in general, yes, let's avoid that for the time being. Just, taking my hands off as much of this country as possible seems like a really solid idea. Meanwhile, right, obviously all the countries are fictional, but it's 1953 and apparently, yes, there's a major global rivalry between Arcasia in the west and United Contana in the east. So capitalism versus communism. Right, it's just the Cold War, got it. So, for now, until I know more, we should commit to neutrality. Eventually someone's going to come up to my country with a big army. At that point, we might pick a side. For now, let's just, try and stay out of it. Okay, so the previous president, yes, had a fairly relaxed immigration policy. We can either keep it or toughen it up. So, okay, this one's nice and easy. If we keep the previous administration's policies, then if it goes wrong, we can blame them. Okay, we can always change it later if something goes really wrong. Oh, and in terms of my focus, obviously, education, defense, law and enforcement. Okay, health's quite important, I'll give you that one's important. But that's also really difficult to improve. Education, I think we can improve, more quickly. So we're gonna do that one, damn it. Let's get some education sorted out. Are you sure about your decisions? Not in the slightest, but we're gonna say yes anyway. Okay, let's get to grips with what we've got here. So, right, I've got myself a map here of, like, nations around me. And on top of that, right, a national map focusing on the internal situation. So, right, I'm guessing yellow means important. We'll get you in just a second. Let's, like, figure out what my place in the world is first. Because, oh, blimey. Can't help but notice that, yes, like, right next door, and by far our biggest land neighbour, is the gigantic Kingdom of Rumburg. Oh, good, they hate us. And also have a gigantic military. Good, 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 good. Beatrice, me and you, let's just be chill, okay? Okay, by comparison, yes, our other land neighbours are weak, but way more chill. So yeah, Magnolia up here, me and them are apparently getting on just fine. Okay, Lesbia. Can we, like, maybe be friends too? Neutral. Okay, that will do. In fact, you know what? We should make friends with Lesbia. If me and Lesbia are BFFs, then, them coming to our aid in the event that Beatrice attacks us, that's got to be a good thing. And okay, they're aligned with, yes, fictional America, being a parliamentary republic that's sided towards capitalism. Whereas just over the water, right, you guys, you are, I'm guessing, yes, allied instead. Okay, right, so basically I'm right in the middle of everything. We've got the American-aligned people to the south, the communist-aligned people over here, and a gigantic monarchy that cocking hates me right next door. Oh, and I can also read reports about literally every major city inside my territory, and okay, right, don't worry about that for now. If they, like, do something important, I'm sure we'll figure it out as we go. So, okay, important cities that are currently highlighted in yellow, what do you need me to do? Okay, most of it was not good news. It turns out most of the cities in this country are, basically falling apart or currently on fire or something similar. But over in Narbel, apparently, we might have, like, a new gas field. That feels like, good news at the bare minimum. I do enjoy, by the way, how I have a selection of newspapers I can read, though what I don't appreciate is it's literally cocking day one, and apparently, yes, the big news is, Rumburg is coming south. They want to conquer us, so right, I may need to, pick a side. Neutrality might not really work, like, in the long term. Okay, let's jump into, some policy here, because, right, step one, the economy, which is apparently in recession. It would appear that, yes, currently my government budget is 8. I don't know 8 of what, but just in general, that seems like a low number for a government budget. So, right, I feel like we've not got much money. But we promised to invest in education, okay? Remember, just bung some money at universities or something. Gus, do you really think that such an economically advanced area is in need of investment more than Agonland? Which is apparently right. That's the one up top, bordering a couple of other nations. Apparently it's not doing so hot, and okay, I get the feeling, yes, the game's about to ask me to make some really difficult choices I'm not going to be comfortable with, and I'm going to run out of money really fast. Okay, Simon, give it to me straight. How's our country doing? Because as I say, I feel like 8 money is not much, and okay, GDP is okay, 310 billion Saltish Ren. That's way more than 8, though. Oh, right, we're also in quite a bit of debt too. Got it. Meanwhile, unemployment is at 16%, inflation at, 10%. Okay, like, is there any good news? Could someone give me some good news? No, there's literally no good news. We've been a bloody hell, the economy shrank 6% last year. Okay, there is literally no good news whatsoever. Great. So, okay, for now we're just basically setting up, a vague economic direction, either central planning or free markets, and we did promise we were going to do a bit more free market stuff, though, yeah, that's also going to bring us more in line with the United States of Arcasia, which, might potentially help us with the whole economic crisis thing. Like, isolationism might not work very well when we desperately need to grow the economy, so okay, we'll do some free market reforms, if only because I promised to do so in my election manifesto. But you know what? I'm gonna throw my advisors a bone, because some of them want to go one way, some of them want to go the other. Alright, I'm not selling the entire country. Certain central institutions, like, you know, some public services, they stay in state control. But like, you know, maybe those gas fields I was reading about this morning, we could sell them to the United States of Arcasia. Alright, nice easy cash injection, no problem there whatsoever. So okay, because we've done that, yes, right now an active policy is promote market economy, so I don't get, like, you know, direct control over things, not least as I very literally just signed up to not having direct control over things, but yes, I suspect certain consequences are going to start appearing over time. Gotcha. Not least as the situation is a bit dire when it comes to the economy in particular. You know, just a lot of stuff in red right now. Got it. And literally nothing in green. The best we can do in economic matters is, yes, 3 things are apparently sort of okay. Okay, I had to go through, like, you know, a lot of alerts and notes and whatnot, but I finally found some good news. In one town, right on the edge of the country, the wine industry is doing pretty well. They're making good wine, so, right, support that if we can. Right, move over here to this place. I'm pretty sure you're, like, you know, a major port, right? Yes, the gateway. A large trade port, hub of commerce, good. Good, good, good. Very important, potentially. So in which case, do we want to do a mega infrastructure? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, surely yes. Like, you know, if this is our biggest port and our economic heartland, we've got to put some money into this, so... oh, go on, sure. Congratulations. You see, the problem is I'm going to say yes to everything, and we're going to run out of money very soon, and I don't know how long it is until this, like, you know, fills up again. If it does, it might not. Also, I've just been passed a bill I now need to, yes, either veto or sign. Who wrote this bill out of interest? Like, is there a parliament or something? Like, I should probably know this, I'm so sorry, it's like... okay, it's not my first day, but it's like my 3rd day, okay? I've not found Parliament yet, if such a thing exists. Okay, so we're changing how we're funding a political party, so... right. The previous system, a number of votes, so basically, yes, funds were assigned based on a functionally proportional representation, versus now, a system with, yes, the number of seats. So basically, yes, established parties would do better out of that. Assuming we're running, like, you know, a first-past-the-post constituency-by-constituency system, which... are we doing that? I should know that, I'm the president, but I don't know that. Okay, the point is, right now, we've got a lot of seats, so... okay. That would give us a huge amount of money. Though it does mean tiny parties don't get, like, you know, any funding. As much as I like the idea of having a giant pile of money, I feel like it's the wrong thing to do then again. I mean, we promised democratic reform, but this feels like, you know, in the wrong direction. I'm gonna veto this, and I'm guessing someone's gonna be a dick about that, because me using a veto is inherently not democratic. But, like, this here appears to be the Parliament basically voting for a giant pay rise for the parties that make up the Parliament, so... no, this is unacceptable, I'm vetoing this. Oh, that's what we've got apparently. A Grand Assembly, brilliant. And okay, no one's yelling at me about this yet. Instead, Friends Richter apparently also didn't like the new package. So, okay. Politician, businessman, leader of People's Freedom and Justice Party. That sounds like a good party. I feel like I like those guys. And again, don't trust them just because they've got a good name. Okay, they're advocating for, yes, a more democratic constitution. So, right. Me and them, we could be friends, okay? We're gonna be chill with these chappies. Right, speaking of infrastructure around our major port, which I do agree is important. In fact, I already gave them one money. So, right. One of my guys wants a rail network between Holsord and Lecheven. Hang on, is Lecheven the, that's the port, right? Yes, so basically, our 2 biggest cities ought to be connected by a better rail network. Whereas you want, yes, a proper highway connection between these guys and Arvery. hang on, where's Arvery? Right up here, in what I understand to be a very, very poor bit of the nation. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna regret this, but I'm, inclined towards taking our existing economic powerhouses and doubling down on them, which is gonna be really bad for basically everyone else, but we kind of just need to sort out the economy. Oh, I don't feel good about this. I feel like, this is all gonna come and bite me in the arse later. Step 1, we're just going to, sort out the economy, and once the economy is doing well, then I'll spend all the money making everyone's lives better. It's gonna work out fine, okay? You know what? I don't feel so bad here, because actually this guy's telling me, yes, it's not just gonna help out these major cities. Enrica and Gelsert will also massively benefit. Meanwhile, if we just build a big road from here to here, it's only gonna help out Lenkirk. That's one town. And a pretty bloody tiny town at that. Plus, in the long term, we're probably going to lose this territory if we get invaded by, Beatrice next door. So honestly, is it really worth investing in? I don't think so. Okay, and on top of, government money, I've also got a substantial amount of my own money, so... Okay. There's an American up-and-coming tech firm. I'm not spending, all of my money on this, but I'm gonna buy some shares in this United States of Arcasian company, because I feel like, investing in technology in 1953 could potentially pay off really nicely, given, yes, if this world is anything like ours, technology is going to go nuts over the next decades. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I was just enjoying, taking my family to a nice ball to celebrate the beginning of my term in office, and, right, I feel like possibly some violence is kicking off nearby. Possibly some people don't like the direction I'm taking the country. 2 people gunned down in front of the palace. The attacker is one of them. We have reason to believe he was working alone. So, right. This is not exactly a, safe job. Got it. I potentially might make enemies, and these enemies could assassinate me. Good, 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 good. So, okay, the assassinated individual is Bernard Kirkus, who was, okay, a communist politician. Presumably, therefore, not in my party. Whether he was just hit at random, or whether for some reason someone's picking off the communists in particular, we'll have to flipping see. Okay, beyond them, there's the National Front on the right. The Freedom and Justice Party, right, we know about them, we like them. And interestingly, one more local party. So okay, Bergia down in the south and west. Those guys apparently, yes, kind of vote less according to left or right. Instead, they vote for their own politicians. Gotcha. Which is interesting. If they have a lot of political clout, then yeah, if we toss a couple of bones to Dea, or other cities around these parts, potentially there could be, a political alliance in the making. Oh, speaking of which, I finally found the assembly tab, so right. At the moment we control all. We have a majority, but it's a pretty cocky small one, got it. And by the looks of it, yes, the Communist Party currently doesn't have a single seat. Neither do the localist guys, so okay, never mind, don't bother helping out their territory, they've got nothing to offer me. Just keep sucking up to, what's his face, Friends, okay? Friends is gonna be my friend, it's an easy way to remember that. And okay, the following day we can confirm, at least if we believe what we're hearing here, yes, the youth wing of the right-wing party basically decided to attack a communist sitting as an independent in the chamber, so, right. I wasn't the target, but even so, we can't be having this nonsense, alright? Oh, this is gonna get worse before it gets better, isn't it? Right, so immediately there are, yes, retaliation attacks, so the communists are now bombing the NFP, and I'm guessing they're going to bomb the communists right back, so, okay. Not entirely sure how we're gonna, de-escalate this situation. Oh, but I tell you what. I'm liking what I'm seeing here, just, up in the top left. The economy's looking way less red than it was yesterday. So, okay, it turns out I'm a genius at growing the economy. However, yes, possibly the most pressing thing right now isn't the economy, it's the fact that, okay, there's now a lot of tit-for-tat violence, and it's not small stuff, it's like bombings, etc. So, Right. Label all protesters as traitors. No, I feel like that would make things much, much worse. And deploying, yes, untrained police officers, well, that's a recipe for disaster as well. So, okay. An address on television could be helpful, but I feel like, going down onto the ground and visiting some affected towns, that's got to be the best option, right? Well, the whole sword post agrees, so that's nice at least. Okay, let's get back to business proper here. Building my gigantic railway. Okay, because apparently, yes. Enrique, you're one of the towns that's going to benefit, aren't you? Okay, so much so that when we arrived, there were crowds of cheering citizens. So, right, bare minimum, we've secured a few votes by building this railway network. Beautiful. Okay, so step one, we need to decide who's actually, building the damn thing. So, right, the Swordish State Company built it in a house with presumably a publicly owned organisation. Though by the sounds of it, yes, corrupt management structure not currently doing very well. Does not feel like, the right company to take us into the future. Meanwhile, there's Underhall, which is, right, a private company, but still one owned by someone locally, Walter Tusk. Alternatively, right, cutting-edge technology. Did some work in a port expansion project that came in well under budget, and Arcasian. You know what? Taurus feels like a damn good bet to me. Oh, and this feels like a big one, so hang on. I swear growth was looking better than that just 2 minutes ago. Bloody hell. Right, so, okay. Major economic relief plan given things are not currently good. We can either give stimulus checks out or bail out businesses. I feel like we're already doing a fair bit to help businesses. We're like, our free market stuff and the train network and whatever. So, yes, let's send out some stimulus checks to people in need because we've got a lot of problems with unemployment, poverty, etc, etc. It's all going to work out, possibly. Oh, hang on, the Assembly's back with something new for me, so okay, I kind of vetoed their last thing, so at some point I should probably pass an act that they want me to pass, so tourism and cultural preservation. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like, good. I'm inherently well disposed towards that. Okay, money is disappearing fast, but I mean, this isn't just spending money. Tourism could be a good source of money, so you know what? We'll sign it, that's fine, it's all gonna work out. Oh yeah, there's another green there. The tourism industry is booming. Right, that was a good decision. Okay, next up, if I want to, yes, rewrite the Constitution, I need 2/3 of the vote in the National Assembly, which basically means, yeah, the PFJP. They need to come on board, and, I mean, to be honest, me and them get on pretty well. I feel like, this should not be too difficult to arrange. Okay, so it's the following day, and, right, I can't help but notice that despite the fact I've spent half of the entire government budget, growth is still going down. And okay, this could be of interest. It would appear that today, yes, the Arcasian Alliance has pledged significant amounts of money and military aid to Agnolia, our neighbours to the north. So, admittedly, the only reason they're doing that is, yes, to fight a proxy war potentially in Agnolia against the communists to the east. So, yeah. Cozying up to America could, in theory, help protect us against Beatrice, but it might open up a significantly worse threat against the communists to the east, who are significantly closer to me. Basically, there's not going to be a good easy answer, is there? Whatever I do, someone's going to yell at me. Ooh, but this might be a good way to make some money without selling out my country to, another superpower. Narbel. That's where, yes, the cocky gas fields are. Now, we can sell those to someone. That's not selling, okay, it's selling out a bit of the country. But, like, only a really tiny bit. Okay, I was just hoping to, get in, sell the place, then leave. But, okay, somebody wants to talk about welfare, healthcare, and education. And I did kind of promise I'd help out with education a bit, so, oh, we are spending money way too fast. Okay, so apparently our existing education system is free, but it's outdated, it needs reform. So, right, in particular, lack of education in rural areas. So, okay, fine. The situation is good in the heartland, but down here and probably especially up in, yeah, Angerland, that's probably not so good. So, okay, you know what? This feels like precisely what I promised to do. You have got a deal. But here we go, down to business proper. Right, flogging Gasom to whoever's willing to pay the most to buy it. Okay, here we go. The owner of Gasom has a great opportunity on his hands, so a business arrangement benefiting them and us too. So, okay, Ewald, lay it out for me. Oh, also I think possibly this guy used to be president and I may have... oh, hang on. I definitely stabbed you in the back at some point. I'm really sorry about that, by the way. So, right, there's a wealthy kingdom nearby, and they're willing to maybe pour some money into Gasom. So, you know what? That seems kind of interesting, actually, though. Oh. Yeah, energy security. That is a thing I should probably consider as president, but... I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like... How much money are we talking? Okay, so we can just stay out of it. Alternatively, yeah, we could co-invest with Rizia, or entirely back it ourselves. I mean, I was kind of hoping this would make me money, not cost me it. But, I mean, if this goes well, it's an investment. So, okay, me and Rizia are going to go into business together. I was really hoping we could just, you know, sell this to Rizia. But as that's not an option... Okay, but this bloody better make us money. Okay, so that's 2/3 of the entire government treasury spent, and growth is still going down, actually. Like, not as much, but it's still going down, and... oh, stability order just doesn't sound good, does it? Right, so yeah, so while we've been doing all of this... the various factions have continued just shooting and bombing each other as time goes by, so... okay. Because people are dead, we could, in theory, force through an action to ban the organisations. One, the other, both, or nobody. I feel like this can't be the answer. Like, no matter what happens, you're not going to make people calm down and, you know, stop being mean to each other by just banning the parties they're in. That's never gonna work. No. We're not banning anything. And we're also finally ready to start talking about the new constitution. So, right, one thing people wanted to get rid of was me having a veto over everything. Okay. We could get rid of it entirely, or we could limit it a bit. Because the thing is, some people want me to maintain it. Like, I think at some point the military were babbling on at me about how they really wanted to stay, because it's useful in emergencies. So, I feel like, you know what, on this occasion, limiting it so I can veto, you know, stuff that's a bit 50-50, but a supermajority can still push stuff past me, that feels like a fair compromise. And then, yes, we've got to get rid of the Supreme Court's interaction with the law. Apparently I've got no other options there, so fine, that's a-okay. Then, impeachment of the president. Okay, Assembly and Supreme Court can impeach with a majority in both. President can't be impeached. Do not change. Oh no, I've got to be impeached. That's eminently reasonable. Appointment of ministers. So, right, the Assembly nominates... A confidence vote is needed, or don't change. I just appoint who I want. I feel like the Assembly appointing my staff is a bit too far, so... Okay, yeah, I nominate the ministers, the Assembly gets a confidence vote. That's fair, right there, so... Okay, then elections, so... Okay, minimum of 10% of the national vote to win seats. That definitely shouldn't be the case. Like, I'd lower that to, like, you know, true proportional representation, but lowest we can get away with is 3%. Let's go for that. Next up, presidential decrees. So, okay. What do we need to do here? Either the Assembly gets a say in them, or I just don't do them anymore, or we leave it where I can do them. I feel like, you know, letting the Assembly have a say That's reasonable. Yep, that's okay. And then, right. Term limits. Is that really necessary? You know what? That one can stay. That's fine. There's going to be some people out there who don't want the Constitution to change. So, leaving the odd thing as it is, that should hopefully make them happy. Ooh, justices. They should definitely be able to be impeached if they do something really naughty. So, yeah, that's reasonable. And then, finally, Member of Honor Rights of Tarkin Sol. Hang on, what the cock is this? Oh, it's basically just like, you know, a free permanent MP, but without an election. So, oh, that doesn't feel good. Also, they get a special private residence, so, okay, right now there's only one. He just gets to, you know, be there forever. I feel like, no, that shouldn't be a thing. So, okay, I've made, a lot of changes. Like, I feel like I'm about to upset a lot of people. But crucially, the PFJP should love this, so this should get straight through the Assembly. I mean, assuming I can get past, you know, my own party. Which could be an issue given, you know, there are factions in my own party who don't want anything to change, and I just basically changed everything, so... Oh, that might be basically unpassable. Oh, perfect timing, just as, yes, the money's basically about to run out. Okay, my entire cabinet's basically cornered to me, and they're now yelling about everything. So, education, healthcare, law enforcement, the military. Yeah, we're literally about to be invaded. Huge amounts of political violence is occurring on the streets, like, all the time. I did promise to improve education. No one's actually, like, said much about healthcare so far, but, like, in general, not dying does seem like a good thing, so... Oh, bloody hell. Okay. If I want to make anything go up, it's going to cost one, and I'm going to be honest, we're kind of out of money, actually. Okay, the money's going to go towards law and order because there is literally a campaign of bombing and counter-bombing going on in the nation right now. Hang on, whoa, 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 whoa. Right, some of those don't cost one. Some of them cost, oh, cock. Right, education turns out to be expensive. But I need education and law and order. Okay, those are essential. Okay, the newspapers are not, like, hugely impressed by the fact that I have blown the small budget surplus we had, and instead, yes, have just plunged the country into a massive deficit. And even so, growth is still going down. So, just to sum up, what I've done is, yes, tried to push through a ridiculously ambitious constitutional reform that I probably can't even get past my own party. Entered into a business deal with an autocratic kingdom I know absolutely nothing about. Handed over the construction of our core infrastructure to, yes, a small American company, even though I'm trying to maintain a policy of neutrality. And somehow, I've managed to completely blow the budget while not investing at all in the bits of the nation that actually needed it. So, right, in conclusion, don't let me run nations. Got it. But yes, indeed, how about we wrap things up there, and if you think you could do better, and bloody hell, I think you probably could do much worse, this here is Suzerain, link in the description below, and, okay, I will say, this is interesting, like, the amount of world building that exists, you know, with every part of your nation, and all the other nations nearby, is really, really cool, like, it's so in-depth. But I will flag one thing, which is, yes, like, this is not a nice, light, cheery game to play for 5-10 minutes at a time. Like, there's a lot to get your teeth into here. You need to be sitting down, concentrating, paying attention, and even then, you'll probably mess it all up. Still, I won't deny, it is an interesting, compelling game. I do enjoy Political Simulator on occasion, so yes indeed, if we're lucky I can find more like this in future, we shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Suzerain. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Wait, did people just vote out democracy? Hang on, what have you just done? Oh, go on, let's have the greatest Oktoberfest ever. Yay! Spain and Russia have announced a new alliance as a result of the warmongering of certain Central European countries. Oh, well, excuse me! My leader from now on, no weaklings will stand in the way of this country's path to glory. Oh, God, Germany, not again!